Hey everybody, I hope and pray that you're doing well. Today as we come to our word from the Word. And today that word is guidance. Guidance. Now we're back in First Chronicles today. Thank you for taking that little sidestep with us yesterday, looking at the gift of love from John chapter 3. But today back in First Chronicles, and we left off last week in chapter 11, but today we're going to be in First Chronicles chapter 13, just looking at the first four verses there. Now, with that, as we're seeing David, and as everything is kind of lining up for David, we're going to see even through the rest of this week, just really in chapter 13 and 14, seeing how God is working in his life, and then the way that the way that David, rather, is interacting with God. Now, today, this guidance that we're going to look at begins right there in verse 1. So then, First Chronicles chapter 13, verses 1 through 4. Then David consulted with the captains of thousands and hundreds, and with every leader. And David said to all the assembly of Israel, if it seems good to you, and if it is of the Lord our God, let us send out to our brethren everywhere who are left in all the land of Israel, and with them to the priests and Levites who are in their cities and their common lands, that they may gather together to us. And let us bring the ark of our God back to us, for we have not inquired at it since the days of Saul. Then all the assembly said that they would do so, for the thing was right in the eyes of all the people. Now, I hope you see right away that last little statement, it was right in all the eyes of the people, but was it right in the eyes of God? Now, we'll see as we move forward this week, and even as we've looked at this story of some of what we're going to talk about previously when we were looking through First and Second Samuel and First and Second Kings. So with all, and that is for the whole book of Chronicles, rather. But with that, it's something here that he's seeking the guidance of everybody involved. And it's almost as if it's written in the order that he did it. So he seeks the guidance of all these people and then said, oh, well, as long as it's okay with the Lord. And I think a lot of times, isn't that just what we do? We check with everybody else. We do everything else we want to do. And then we say, oh, well, yeah, if it's the Lord's will. Should that be our first thought? Our first thought should be, well, if the Lord wills, then we'll go do this or do that. You know, and we see that in the New Testament as well, as Jesus is telling us, that's the things that we should say is, well, there's no guarantee of tomorrow. There's no proof that we'll be here. We don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. So with that, I do like the fact that at least when he has this intention to bring the ark back and to be back in the presence of the ark. Now, the ark represented the presence of God. And I mean, that's one thing we'll see this week. I mean, it represented the holiness of God and to be in his presence. And I mean, it had been many, many years or decades since they had consulted the Lord with the ark. And if you think about that, it does seem as though he's trying to, kind of get that reformed time and get people back focusing on God and having that relationship that they should. But was it pleasing to God? Now, we know that God desires relationship with us, but sometimes we try to shortcut it and go the way that we maybe shouldn't have, or maybe not the best for everybody, or somebody's hurt in the process. Now, maybe today, maybe we need guidance. We all need guidance. I need guidance every day. And I know you do as well. But let's make sure that we have an attitude that's seeking God first, not making our own plans and then asking God to bless them. And that's really it's really hard to do that. We have to because our flesh wants to do it on our own. And the Spirit does give us the power and the discernment to make decisions when we need to and how we need to. But we've got to be, up to date almost in our prayer lives. We have to be a constant relationship with Him, that on that level of an intimate relationship with God, so that just like when people are married for so long and their relationship has become so close that they know what the other one is thinking before they say anything, or just by just being around them, they already know their reaction and they know what they should do. That's the same way it is with you and I with God. The closer we are to Him, the more we know what He's going to say without even asking. But yet we still need to ask. We still need to seek His guidance and His guidance alone. Yes, He uses godly people to influence us. He uses pastors and teachers and brothers and sisters in Christ and those just friends and encouragement to lead us and help guide and direct us. But ultimately, our counsel and our guidance has to begin with God and God alone. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.